Mahmoud Kayal. He is the CEO and founder of WebTeb, which is the largest medical portal in Arabic in the Middle East. It's a company I'm really excited about. He was just telling me that WebTeb is now the official provider of medical content in Arabic to MSN Arabia and to Yahoo Maktub. So it's a pretty big accomplishment for a Palestinian company, making waves and making a big difference, as they should. His website now has 3.5 million unique visitors per month, which is really tremendous. And a big part of their strategy has been high-value partnerships. They've been partnered with Mayo Clinic and Harvard since the beginning, which I think has been a big source of strength for their value proposition. And speaking of value proposition, Mahmoud is the guy to be teaching about creating value. It's an appropriate session now, since you all have sent your business ideas in. The core of any business idea is to create value. Some of you are thinking of changing your business ideas. So now is the time to think about, from Mahmoud, what you can change to create more value. So Mahmoud, like all the other instructors, is volunteering his time. He's a really busy guy, so we're very thankful to him for coming. Hello, Mahmoud.
Okay, so I need to have a position where everyone can see. You have problem. Okay. So my name is Mahmoud. I was a physician. Actually, I am a physician. I practiced medicine for 9 years. As a family medicine, I did my residency in family medicine and I practiced medicine for about 9 years. And let's say 5 years ago, I thought, I wanted to do something different, to make a change. And then I started with my first venture, which was MyCook, which is MyCook, which is a very cool idea, which is an online account manager, which is basically like a home page. You can have your home page, your own home page, in which you have all of your accounts online, social media, emails, everything that you need to put username and password. So you have all the activity in one home page with like buttons and APIs that you see everything. Just like you can see how many emails you have, if you have notifications in Facebook, and then you can decide where to go and where not to go, and give you more statistics about what you use, what you do, what you don't use. And of course this died for a lot of reasons. But it was good, by the way. I mean, this is maybe one of the first lessons that I learned is that you never regret anything that you really did invested your time. Because while I was trying to raise money for that, I met an investor that told me, Mahmoud, I didn't want to invest in your company, but I want to invest in you. So please go back, bring me something else, and I'll invest in you. And exactly that's what happened. And then, I thought, well, what should I do? And I was a physician. I realized the lack of awareness for prevention, basically, and health awareness among Arabic-speaking people all over Catalonia. Never mind, I'm from a small village near to Arco, so it's a pan-Arab thing that people really don't know much about their health. And there was no credible source of information online. And as you know, everything is going online, and mobile. So I thought about having a WebTeb, and it was 3 years ago, I think, exactly 3 years ago, where I founded the company. 2.5 years ago, we launched a website. And the idea of partnering with Harvard and with Mayo Clinic was exactly to tackle the idea of the issue of credibility of the information. So I'm going to speak about creating value. Maybe one of the things that really we're still in what dealing with is identifying what can you bring to your customer. And we'll talk about who's your customer. Is it the users or the healthcare providers or pharmaceutical companies or whatever? How you identify what's the need and can bring a complete solution for that need. I'm going to talk about a lot of things. Part of them are really like scientific, part of them is from my own experience. I think what I want you to have at the end of this session is the way of thinking. And I've just heard about a few ideas that some of you have. If you have that need, so eventually you can build a company around it. But you need to know how to think on designing this venture from the first step where there is a need to the end one where you have the end, the last, let's say, a station in that journey where you can bring value that can be monetized, maybe by you, by the way, maybe not by you. So we're going to talk about customer pain or customer need. We're going to say what is customer need, who's your customer. Talk about really these things that you hear a lot about it, but I think it's a good opportunity just to identify what do we mean by customer need or pain. And then we'll go to creating value proposition, how can you make something that people will love to use, and is it enough to build something that people will love to use? Talking about competition, and then the last thing would be revenue models. What revenue models can be there? And we give some examples. Some are from WorkTip. I have a lot of examples from WorkTip, and we'll have also examples from outside WorkTip. And I think we'll have also some discussion about it, because one thing you need to know is that even the best investors that you can hear about, they really don't know they cannot be sure what really will work. I mean, a lot of very brilliant ideas and very brilliant companies, very successful companies like WhatsApp was rejected by investors that said it won't work, we don't see any value. So we'll just talk a bit about the revenue model, and then we'll have some group activity, which is something very simple. So it's managing shopping list, especially how many people here are married with kids. So I think they will understand more that this pain of managing shopping list in the weekend, what's missing in the house, and who's gonna buy it and from where. So we have it as like really discussion and exercise of how we can build something that can be very small and can be very, very huge about managing shopping list. Okay. So this is the very basic understanding to our session. So first there is a pain. First there is a pain, and people can have something that they want a solution for something. So if there is a pain, you need to identify who's suffering from that? Like, sometimes there is a pain. It's a huge pain, but only 3 people in this world suffer from that. By the way, ALS is a pain. It's very few people suffer from that. So it was very nice to see all of that. But I mean, it's gonna, after a few days, nothing will, you won't see anything like that, because if you go statistically in Ramallah, you might find maybe 2 or 3 cases every year. There are a lot of more painful things everywhere that still need solution. Cancer, AIDS, and others. And then there is a solution. The pain, customer, and solution is the trilogy that you need to think about always. There's a pain, who's suffering from that pain. If you provide a solution, all of that, if you have this, then you have assets, which is very important. If you have this, then you have an asset. Sometimes you have only this. You don't have a business model that can make money out of it. But if you have this, it's a huge asset. A lot of companies, WhatsApp, Twitter, a lot of companies had a lot of users. They had solutions that a lot of people used and then monetized that asset. But they had huge exits and they had huge valuations. Because sometime will come and take this and make a lot of benefit. Maybe not direct revenue, but a lot of benefit out of it. And there's a lot of cases about companies like this. So talking about customer need, there are basically 2. You need to customer pain and pleasure. Sometimes you have something, there is a problem, but this problem is not like something you can live without. It's not something that really that is hurting. It's not something that you think about every day. If you can focus on finding a solution to pain, it's much more important than finding a solution to pleasure. By the way, it also depends on what market you are working with. One more thing is that it's usually easier to find a solution for pleasure than really finding a solution for pain. Waze, for example, solved a big issue of traffic jam. You can identify where is traffic, if there is cops are hiding somewhere. But ParkMe, Pango, or others is more of parking. You can pay, you can find parking, which is important. But you can Waze is something that Yahoo is Apple and Google wanted, and Google eventually acquired that because it really solves a very big problem. Okay, so let's try to identify how to approach pain. So one, the customers only know the pain. A lot of times they don't know what is the solution. There are a lot of pains, and a lot of means. Let's say, I don't know, someone tell me something that what the solution
To know
for.
the pain?
What?
To know the pain of the customer? To know the pain?
Yes, I mean, customers know their pain. And so let's say,
مواصلات.
what?
Surveys.
سيرفيس. مواصلات.
Okay, so, okay, so transportation.
Transportation.
So, people have difficulties in transportation. Now, they don't know what solution. Is it the solution to have a new a service company, or to have a website, I don't know, to do something, or maybe to change the design of the city? Now, so, but the pain for them is that they cannot find a car taking them from X to Y. There's a lot, this joke about the hole that was in the street. This is the pain, what the hole was in the road. So one said, let's bring an ambulance, because people were, falling in that and being hurt, breaking legs. So some said, let's bring an ambulance, put it there. And some said, no, let's bring a hospital and build it there. And the other one said, no, let's have the hole. Let's, build the hole near the hospital. So people know the pain. They don't know the solution. You need to think about it. And it's also important to know when do they experience that. Because it's, if you can find the solution that exactly when they want that, when they've experienced that pain, the most important thing. So for example, Waze could have this, a website or SMS something, but when you give them the solution while they are driving, this is the most important thing. So you need what?
And they have smartphone.
Yes.
I mean the timing.
Okay.
That happened 3 years ago. People they didn't have smartphones, so Waze wouldn't work. So the timing once people have.
Yeah. It's okay. This is also a different thing we talk about, but it's identifying the customer. But you need to think the solution should be exactly if you can find this, if you can give them the solution exactly when they experience that pain, this is the best thing you can do. And the last thing is what cures that pain. Now, is it talking about traffic jam? Is it just making them drive their car less, maybe, or notifying them there is a traffic jam? So there's different ways that you can tackle that pain. The most important is that if you can focus on really healing, like in medicine, find something that will just eliminate that. Because if you have an acute pain, which is an acute, and you can provide a compelling solution, then this is where you can have your paying customers. If you can provide a compelling solution exactly when the pain is there, this is the best way to tackle, to provide your solution, and this is the best way to acquire customers that will be willing to pay. For example, if you could think about aspirin and vitamins, people want, aspirin sells much more than vitamins, because aspirin, people usually take it when they have it. And you want to solve a problem. So there's basically two types of pain. One is a personal pain. You want to solve a problem that is for people, personal. Like people are your customers. Usually there are three major, let's say, areas. One is the financial. If you can find something that will help people, cut their expenses or generate more money, this is really something you can work. Social, Facebook, connecting with people, I don't know, Flickr, Instagram, and daily tasks, like driving, shopping list. These are basically the three major fields that you can find things you can find most of the companies are about. And in businesses, it's even more it's even أوضح. It's revenue, cost, and customers. If you want to provide something for a company, just think about this. My pen was in Algeria and they just was Germany. And the ultimate pain of Google Plus will be always there because they don't have any of these. Okay. So, in order to solve the pain, one, you need to really have a deep analysis of that pain. What is the pain? Why people experience that pain? Who? We'll talk a bit more in a minute. Who's experiencing that pain? When? Where? And how? I mean, you want, let's say, let's talk about a bit about what, for example. So, what there is about having healthier life. So, let's say with the what. The problem is that people have a non-healthy life. So you need to provide them with something that will make them live a healthier life. It can be content, it can be services, doctors, medical tourism, telemedicine, and so on. Why? So it can be like life quality. Who? It's one of the things, so it's very important to know who, because sometimes you think like about everyone. Basically you can think about everyone to live a healthier life, but maybe women are looking more about living a healthier life. Maybe women have more diseases. Maybe women are those who go more to the internet. Maybe only people that can access the internet are your customers. When, in our case, it's always, it can be when they are sick, but I think it's always, because also prevention is very important. Where, in our case, it's irrelevant, and how is by providing them the solution that you want to provide, whether it's a content, services, as you say. The second important thing is to know the market. Knowing the market is also important because, for example, the football, the RSVP.
Yeah.
So who's like, what's happening there in the market? Are there competition? This is one. And two, what's happening there? What's like your customers, what they do? Do they already have something in place that you can integrate to? Or they just, it's chaos? You need to know the market, you need to know what they are doing, how they are solving their problems. You need to know who's also competing with you there. After you've known all of that, it's always important, and it's very important, that before you come and say, I know what's the solution, this is really the first test of what you are doing, is if you can, only in few words, describe what's the problem and what's the solution. If it's still not there, you need to know what's the problem, what's the solution, in, let's say, 2 sentences. And a lot of times you need to know that your customer is not your end user. It's just some, let's say, when you sell something for kids, your end user is the kid, but your customer
Parents.
is the parent, or the parent. So sometimes you need to build it in a way that the one who paid is not the one who's using it. So it's also something that you always need to think about. For example, by the way, talking about your venture, maybe if you want to do it for like for teenagers, maybe the parents will be those who will book the field. Okay. In our case, by the way, in work, a lot of times, for example, when we provide something for kids, it's when we talk to parents, but we know that this should be a solution for the kids. Okay, so I'll give you, one of from our experience in work, things that we had. And honestly, I have to say that these are not solved till now by like 100%, but it's a very good exercise. So, in WebTip we had our portal, which provides medical information for end users by free, and the idea is to bring people read more about their health, educate them, and having this platform as a marketing platform for HCPs, healthcare providers, doctors, pharmaceuticals, hospitals, companies that provide services. So, I mean, one of the, when I wanted to think about our users, not the professionals, the users. So what's really the problem? So, okay, you can provide a high quality, credible content in Arabic. But then, I mean, what's really the question was always, and it's still there, what's the problem? What's really the pain of these people? Is it that they really don't have enough awareness that they need to know more about their disease, about their health? Or they know, but they don't have a credible source of information? Or maybe they have both, but because of a lot of reasons, they don't have access to these services. So maybe we need to focus more on medical tourism, or in doctor's directory, or in telemedicine. Or maybe they have all of that, but they can't afford it. So the idea was, and will always be, to help people live a healthier life. But, I mean, what's really the thing? And for every one of these, you can build a company. Totally different company. If you want awareness, so maybe online is not really the medium. If you want credible information, okay, so it's all about content and that's it. Services, so services company, let's say that ZocDoc or other companies that provide services, online scheduling, second opinion, and all, teleradiology, a lot of companies that provide, but it's a totally different company. Or maybe affordability, maybe you need to find some way to provide this information in a low cost. There's a lot of companies, by the way, that also do this, not in our market. So, by the way, let's say, what do you think, by the way, is holding people from living a healthier life? Motivation. What motivation?
Awareness.
Yeah.
They're not aware of their health life
They're not aware of the food they consume and what's inside of it.
By the way, I think they have four of that. I think they have four of them, but I think the first thing you need to solve is awareness. You cannot give them access to services if they have problem with awareness. So it's very simple. All of them. I mean, my long-term vision is to have, like, let's say, WebMD is a company that have maybe 16 websites that they can solve all of them. But each one of them is a different company. You can't have, like, you can grow to provide all of them. But each of them is a separate company. The first one you need to solve is awareness. If you go, for example, to the United States, awareness is not a problem. Now, what is happening? It's not a problem. WebMD alone has 110 million unique users a month. 70% of it are coming from the United States, and there are like maybe another 6 or 7 huge websites in the United States. If you see the websites in Arabic, we have 120 million unique users, internet users in Arabic. I can say that maybe 30% of them, maybe by max, go and consume health content online. So the first thing you need to do is awareness. And awareness, like incredible information, of course, they come together because that's how you raise their awareness. Now, if you want to bring, the idea is to bring these HCPs to work with you. This is where you are building the asset for them. So what's really their pain? Is it exposure? Is it that they don't have? Is it let's say a clinic or a hospital in Saudi didn't have enough exposure of what they can do? Or the company or Johnson & Johnson want to educate people that they have a lot of products for kids and they can't reach all of them? Is it that they want to have advertising on a brand safe platform? A lot of companies, they won't just come and put their, especially the high quality companies, the big brands, they won't come and advertise on a website that they have copy paste content that infringes copyrights. So is it that, why, for example, let's say that, why pharmaceutical companies till now they don't advertise online in Arabic, even though they spend about $4 billion globally in online advertising, they don't spend a penny online in Arabic. I'm talking about prescribed drugs, not the OTCs, not the over the counter. Is it regulations? Because you cannot advertise drugs, prescribed drugs, just publicly. There are a lot of regulations of how we had now a campaign of one of the companies, one of the pharmaceutical companies, that they had to approve the banner by the Minister of Health in one of the Gulf countries before they send it to us. And it took about 3 weeks. Or it's that it can't be reached, that they are at some place and users are, and their customers are in another place, and they just want something that connect them to their users. I think it's the same for all of them. All of them are pains for these companies. All of them. And here our problem is even bigger than with the users, because here every company has different strategy and every company has different targets, and you need to decide who's your real strategic partners, and you need to know what you can do and what you cannot do, what you need to do first and what you need to do afterwards. But all of them are pains for businesses, for healthcare providers. So knowing them and trying to optimize your solution to have to cure these pains is the key in our case. So after you know the pain, you need to find a solution. Now, this solution will be something that will convince people to use it. And here comes the value proposition. Value proposition is the promise of value to be delivered and the belief from the customer that value will be experienced. Value proposition is something that you will say to your customers, and they will, when they hear it, they will believe that they are going to get benefit from using your solution. It's about persuasion. You need to convince them. It needs to be something. When you pack all of that in one solution and you present that solution, it needs to be something convincing that this is gonna help these people. Now, there's this question that if you build a value proposition, you need to know the answer to. If I am your ideal customer, why should I buy from you, not from your company? Okay? This is the question that when you build something, answer, and has four parts. Talking about WebTip as an example here. So one, if I am, if you want to approach someone, is he your customer? So as I said in WebTip, who's my customer? Is it general population? Is it online?
Maybe a certain age, like a certain age group.
Let's say, but in the beginning, is it all the people, or is it just an online users, or maybe I don't know, people of GCC, Palestine, or whatever. Is it the users or the HCPs? Who's really I'm building the solution for? And it's not just your customer, your ideal customer. So you need to know more of the customer segment. I understand that someone else is going to talk about it, but like, is it the young population, the old population? Is it the males, the females? Is it the young parents? I don't know. I mean, you need to identify more your segment, because one thing you need to know: if you can provide compelling solution, that really a very good customized solution to a small segment, it's much better than having a 50% solution to everyone. Because then you'll be the only one that can provide this solution to that segment. Okay, and why should I buy from you? Is here you need to know what's your solution. You need to know exactly what's the value you're providing. In our case, as I said, is it the credibility? Is it the access to the users? Is it the innovation in terms of online scheduling or something else? You need to know your product. And the last thing is really, why should I buy from you and not from your competitor? And here you need to know the market. You need to know what's your added value. In our case, from the beginning, we said it's credibility and it's a brand safe platform. And because we knew who are our competitors, and we knew exactly that the big advantage we can have is that we can have credible information. That's why from the beginning we had this partnership with Harvard and Mayo. Okay, so knowing your value proposition is something that's very important, but you need to know exactly how to present it in a very clear, concrete way. So one, when you want to talk, when you meet someone, when you meet a customer or an investor, you have these few seconds to speak about your value proposition. So one, be clear. You need to put it in a way where people can read it. Just the normal people, the average people, can read it and understand it. Even if it's a complicated something, I don't know what, just you need to put it in a way where people can just read it and understand it. You need to be concrete. Only facts. Don't say things that, I don't know, you want to do or you are dreaming to do. My solution does that. And the last thing is no superlatives. No, we are the best, I don't know what, or the, it's something, serious people really don't buy it. Just be concrete, be very clear. In what we're putting that, it's comprehensive and credible medical and health information for Arabic-speaking populations so they can live a better and healthier life. I'm sure, by the way, there might be even a better ways to put it, but at least if you look at it, it's very clear, it's a comprehensive, it's a credible. These are two things we are doing. It's a medical information in Arabic because we want people to live healthier. Okay. So how you can really bring people more to believe in your solution? One is give your offering a relevancy, so people can connect, can make this connection from what you are, from what you are offering to their pain. In our case, we said, okay, prevention. The first thing we wanted to emphasize is that prevention is very important. So even our slogan is المعرفة خير من الطب العلاج. So it's very clear. We are focusing on prevention. And the second thing is that try, when you talk about value proposition, to quantify. In our case, it was like, there are a lot of them, of course, there are a lot of things that you can quantify, but for example, 58% of new cases type 2 diabetes can be prevented. It's very clear, 58% of the people that have diabetes today, they could be prevented. So this is very, there's a lot of other things, and it's smoking and others, but at least when you want to put a value proposition, try to find something. I don't know, this will save you $30 for every deal, or that will give you an average of 5 minutes. You will get sooner to your destination, or okay. The last thing is have some sort of priority. Why your solution is better, and have it in a very concrete, clear way. In our case, as I said, you go to the web tip, you see Harvard and Mayo Clinic. So you don't need to invest in saying, okay, it's credible, it's not credible. You have Harvard and Mayo Clinic logos, it's their content. So these three steps, I think, if you focus on your value proposition, one is the relevancy. Try to be relevant. You don't need to convince people that what you are offering is relevant, and just make it local like this. Put numbers and differentiate yourself is three key metrics that you need to. So as I said, you have pain, customer and solutions, you have asset. If you have this, and you still cannot go to invest to revenue, model, I think it's good, but you know, a lot of times it's good to have also a revenue model together with that. But you know, investors want, you go first time to investors and you tell them your you know, your idea, they will always say, they will, you know, you might say how you make money from that. So let me tell you something. If an investor tells you that I don't see, give me a business model to that, it doesn't like your idea. Because if you can really present to any investor or to any, I don't know, to any client, this alone would be great. But this really need to be very clear and very, let's say, unquestionable. There's a pain, there's people who suffer from that pain, and you can't provide a solution. This is the asset. This is where the shareholder value.
But sometimes the solution doesn't make money. I mean, doesn't make revenue. So you might have the three of them, but still your business is not profitable, which is, in their opinion, is not worth investing. So in my opinion, you need
It says, okay,
to have like some sort of business revenue.
wrong. If you have something, if you have a solution for a problem, and there are people that need that solution, and you still don't know how to monetize, do it. If you can prove that there are a lot of people that are using your solution, as I said, Waze, Twitter, WhatsApp, I mean, there are all solutions that people use. If you have something that people love, this is what the internet is about. If you have something that people love and they use it, if you have a game that people will download it and play, believe me, someone else will come and monetize. So, because this, by the way, needs much more, it depends on the market. Sometimes, you know, you may be, if you are an entrepreneur, you know, you should know how to do this. This maybe need more of people with experience, of knowing the market, financials, a businessman, to know how to make money out of it. And here are some 10 minutes I have. Okay, I think it's going to be enough. So here's you know, some types of revenue models, just to see, you know, what really can. What are the revenue models that are there? I think, I mean, I tried to put some. There are a lot of others. I think these are the most important and relevant to us. Advertising. So there is a display advertising, content, native advertising, and sponsorship. Just so let's say this is Al-Alali, this is on WebTep, this is Al-Alali, it's like food company in Saudi. This is a content. It's by Listerine. It's like their course, and it's also sponsorship. The more you can have two of these, it's much more valuable. It's much more strategic, because you know, display banners, people can use AdSense for that. So most of them, I think. Almost all of the campaigns that we have on WebTip, I don't remember that we had only display banners on WebTip. E-commerce can be physical goods, can be digital products, can be services, and Amazon is one of the companies, one of the greatest companies that I personally love. It does all of them. They have, you know, you can buy goods, you can buy digital products, books, and services. They charge us a lot of money for the cloud hosting we have on them. transaction or intermediation. So there's PayPal, which is transaction enabler. There's a Get to Play in Jordan, Cashew, a lot of also local companies. Marketplace, eBay, and if you can do something that can be like eBay, I don't know, it's like platform where you can connect the vendors, like the sellers and the buyers. This is the best thing you can do. This is one of the, if you can have platform where people can just, you can connect sellers with buyers, I think it's one of the greatest companies that you can build, because it has, if it works, it can be replicated in a lot of markets. Just give you some sort of idea. Israel is a very small market. There is a company called Yad Shtai. Just think about it. It's a small market. I mean, in terms of retail, Yad Shtai is like second hand. It was a very successful company. It was sold for about $250 million to a German company, which is huge for a company like that. Again, it's not like Waze, it's a global company. It's a website in Hebrew that only people from inside Israel can sell and buy.
Like Shubidda, somehow.
Exactly, like Shubidda. Affiliate, a lot of companies are now having affiliate programs. Even I think Souk and Sukkar, they all have affiliate.
Yeah, still be focused on cloud.
Yeah. This is something that I really love, is the freemium model. Freemium is free and premium, where a lot of some versions. One is that you can get a paid version without the ads. The other one is you have the full version for paid and just small features for free. And sometimes a lot of times, Candy Crush or Angry Bird that you pay for extra features, for extra moves or whatever. This is I love most of all. This is the last one. It's a big data. Big data is something that now is growing very, very fast. It's something that if you can, if I would recommend someone to start working on something, I would recommend to start working on this. Because big data is something that is growing. In Arabic, it's still in its first stages. I'll tell you just about this. Is a very cool company I'm familiar with called Medisave, which is a pillbox. It's it's an application where people can, put their in what kind of pills they take, and it reminds them. It just if you have to take your cholesterol or hypertension drug, and then you miss it. It reminds you. You can set up what kind of reminders you want, and send you an SMS. If you don't reply, it will send your wife an SMS or your father or whatever. It's very simple. But the idea there is that, and it's for, of course it's for free, but the idea is there, is that, hundreds of millions of dollars pharmaceutical companies lose every year because people don't take their medication on time. Let's say if you need to take one pill a day and you miss 3 pills each month, so by the end of the year you missed 1 month, even more. So pharmaceutical companies want to know if people miss their pills, why? So think about it. If I'm registered and I take, let's say, Lipitor, which is anti-cholesterol drug, and then by the end of the year, I'm registered. The application collects when I take, when I miss, and I can take this data. If I have, let's say, 10,000 people taking one medication, okay, and I sell this data to the company that manufactures that medication. This company can see that people usually miss their pills Sunday morning, or women miss their antihypertensive drugs on the weekends. So they can optimize, one, the marketing, they can optimize the drug. Maybe sometimes, if you take drug, sometimes you can see that if you take the drug twice a day, people usually miss the second pill or the first one. A lot of data that you can understand from that. Pharmaceutical companies pay a lot of money to these companies to collect that data. So, if you can, anything that you can think about that can really collect data, and you can sell, and you can analyze data and sell it, it's really cool.
Right on time.
Right on time. Okay. How long do we have for the?
30 minutes.
Okay. You want to take part in it? Okay, let's just, it's an exercise of managing shopping list. It's again, it's something, by the way, it's an idea that I have, but if someone thinks that he can do anything with that, feel free to do it. I don't have any claims for anyone in the IP. So, managing shopping list. Let's say people usually have, they have things they need to buy. What's the pain? Was the married people?
You might forget. You might forget the list.
Okay.
Going shopping or just making a list?
Let's say from making a list to buying.
Is that waiting
There
online?
is some certain products that you need to know some more detail about. Okay, for what, like shampoo, and for what, like the purpose or which product?
Shampoo is for hair.
Yeah, I don't know, but which product, conditioner or body shampoo or body soap, and which one? And it's sometimes it's really important for some people.
Huge cut.
How does it start this one? I mean, one,
You have a need. You
you
run out
have
of something.
you run out of something, okay? And how many people here, if when they run out of shampoo or toothpaste or I don't know, cleaning liquids, how many people here, they just write it down?
My wife. My wife does. She sends me messages all the time. That's why I block her number.
Okay.
To buy something that you already have, yeah, you need it. You don't have. You go back to find it. So you have it and restart.
So let's say, do you know out of milk? Do you know out of milk? So there's a lot of applications even that, if you are out of something, you can just come, you just can go and
Write it down and share it with you.
what?
Write it down and share
Yes.
it.
Yeah, you can just write down what you have or what you need to buy.
What's the point of sharing this?
What?
What's the point of sharing this?
No, not sharing. I don't know what sharing.
No, you can.
But say if you are out of something, so you write. The problem is that it's not all, you don't. When you are out of toothpaste, you don't have your.
Maybe you can't count your expenses at the end of each month.
Yes.
This is one thing that. So
Okay.
you don't know how much you spend on grocery or gas.
You need to manage it.
Okay.
So let's think about something that whenever when you run out of it, you can just on the spot register. Can be an application where you can scan the barcode, right? What? And it can be, think about it, if you can have a device on your bathroom, on your kitchen, device like a tablet, a mini tablet, on your bathroom, on your fridge, that whenever you're out of something, you just take it and scan it.
Sure.
And just scan it. Okay?
Yeah, for example, before you do the package, you can like scan and then you go,
Yeah, scan it. Just scan it. It's a very simple thing. I mean, the idea here is not is the business model on the end. But you are out of something. You are out of 90% of things that you are out of, either whether it's in the it's usually where you are out of things. So you are out of something. Just scan it, and then you have this application with you, other than the devices that scan it. But it's always updated. Okay? So you have like application that I have, my wife has, and we have this in the house. That whenever something is missing, you can scan it, and then you have a live, updated shopping list. Okay. And of course, I mean, then let's say you get into a supermarket, you don't need to ask anyone. You just take your iPhone, your smartphone, you go into the application and you see what's missing at your home. Okay? Very simple thing. Let's see how. It's very simple. I mean, this is the idea: is having a device where you can scan things that you run out of. Or you can also, I mean, not scan, you can also like type.
The phone itself has a barcode scanner, and most of the things have barcodes. The shampoo bottle and sort of like
Yeah,
that.
but
So
you know, but the idea is that you don't have. It might be a good idea, but the idea is that you don't hold your iPhone or your smartphone always with you. And if you miss it if it's not with you at the moment, because you could also write it. But then let's say that you have you have this application where you have an updated online live shopping list. Okay? So let's see how you can make money.
This is the group activity.
What?
This is the group activity.
Yes.
So there was one team that had an idea related to shopping. Did you talk about this idea?
No. Okay.
What the question again, please? Question.
No. I mean, I just that my idea is to give you something and see how we can optimize a business model to that very simple idea. Now, if you have something else, please.
بقرا في العربي. الفكرة بتاعتنا سمارت شوبينج عمليا تلخص في انه الواحد يكون عنده اول شيء زي ما حكينا هون في عندك تو دو ليست او شوبينج ليست تسجلها وين استجلس السوبر ماركت مثلا لهذا البرودكت وبرضه بكر انا اشتري اونلاين تجيني لعندي على الدار اوكي او بروح انا عمليا على السوبر ماركت وبسوي الليستات وبدفع كاش وباخذ الليست، برضه كمان في شغله ممكن احنا نضيف انه مثلا لما نروح على مول كبير بدل ما نروح ندور على الزلمه وين هو موجود حاليا، ممكن نسوي انه مثلا وين البرودكت حاليا موجود، كونه كل سوبر ماركت حاط البرودكت تاعته، ممكن هو يرتبها على الشيلز وشي زي هيك، فيعطيك هيك زي سجستشن وين هي موجود، فبسهل عليك وين تروح تبيك الايتم هذا. يعني مجموعة أفكار يعني بهذا المحور عم.
So one, I think, as we said, I mean, you need to have it in one sentence, two sentences, very clear. What are you proposing and who's going to benefit and what is going to benefit out of that? I couldn't understand if it's the user or the shops? Maybe both, but
He,
this is exactly the idea, is to put it in very clear way where people can understand the value of using your solution. So you have, no matter what, which is whether it's a scan or you update or whatever, so you have your shopping list on your device. Okay?
okay.
And what? Anyone else has some idea? Yeah.
We can have targeted advertisement, allow brands to advertise for the things the user want to buy. For example, if he wants to buy a generic shampoo or a specific shampoo, but another shampoo company have a sale or a new product, they can sell their...
Advertising, that's right. I mean, it's very simple. You know people, and as we said, it's the pain, timing. Is you can advertise to people shampoo when you know that they need the shampoo. And by the way, this also you can hear another business model is that if you don't want to advertise, so you have a premium. So you don't get it for free. You have a premium service, and then you don't get advertising. So this is also one of another business model you can integrate it. Yep.
Our main features are that the users could fill in their profiles, and within those profiles we have information about their health issues, allergies, maybe diabetes, like a health profile. So, and plus...
Who gets that information?
Actually, the application itself has to process these information to recommend or warn about certain products being
It's very, I won't recommend you to get into this because there are a lot of regulations on that. You don't want to get sued by someone because you recommended something to him and it turns out that there are some article, there is some article talking about 5% or 1.1% of these people can have heart attack or some. You don't want to get into that. By the way, and there's a lot of regulations of collecting medical information about people. So for example, if you want to collect in a lot of countries, the Arab countries is still not that sophisticated, but in a lot of countries, if you want to collect medical information about people, you need to have the servers inside that country. And you need to have a lot of, licenses, and so it's something, it's too complicated, let's say that.
When it comes to data mining, you can basically see how long it takes for somebody to go through a product. Like for example, toothpaste, if they don't put the recommended amount or whatever, you know when they'll need the product again, and that could also be a trigger to start advertising before they even run out.
That's right. Yeah.
I think the best way is by advertising, because I don't think that the need of this product can make the customer buy something or pay for it. And I can't analyze the new feature that you can add so that it will be free with paid features.
You can't find new business models that can be.
No, not like that. But the need for it, I don't think that people will pay for this need.
Okay, so then they won't pay. So you need to find another solution.
Businesses would.
I said advertising.
Maybe recycling companies.
Recycling companies. Oh.
When you
Too
run out,
many logistics you want to get into.
you're just
Right, so
running
that-
ideas. And just
Yeah.
throwing ideas.
So big data analysis, you can sell when the product is consumed to the companies, for example, toothpaste. You can, someone buys Signal every time. So I can see like when do they use it.
What kind of data as a manufacturer of Signal or as a manufacturer of toothpaste, what kind of data would be interesting to me so I will be able to pay for it and get it from you?
How long does it take to finish
Concentration.
Okay?
Maybe flavors. Like if one flavor is not getting as much sales, then it should be discontinued and maybe dedicated to something else.
Sales-based location.
Yes, but I mean, okay, sales.
Based location. So if a certain city that buy a lot of our product, we might like need to give them some sort of
Let me just
incentive.
okay. So let me talking about big data. By the way, talking about the big data, I think there are a lot of other things you need to think about, and this is how I want you to think about big data. Now, one, you can just let's data mining. Think about what kind of information you can get from this very simple behavior of someone who has finished something, he updated that it's finished, and then he bought. One, if you, for example, timing, if you see that people realize that they are out of milk in the evening, or they are out of toothpaste in the 70% of the population, they realize they are out of their toothpaste in the morning. It's very important. I mean, the timing, it's very important. If you can do it in a way where you can identify whether it's the wife or the husband, a report about the milk, so you can also know where to focus your advertising. So if you know that females are always those who know that there is missing milk, but males are those who know, I don't know, they are out of bread. It's very important. Timing. And how long does it take from the minute you identify that there is lack of milk until you buy it? So maybe you know that you have 2 days. So then you also know how, like you know that people, you need to optimize your solution. So in these 2 days, I don't know, having new features or I don't know, something that will make them decide in these 2 days. And maybe something else that you can, it's timing, it's who's doing so, or sometimes you can realize that if people are out of 18 hours, they are out of biscuits. Right? I mean, you can, if you want to go really big data, and these are very, very valuable information. Sometimes you can even say that, if people live in the suburbs, they are out of milk, they buy milks by 3, but people who are in the city center, they buy only 1 milk. There's a lot of things that you can, how much they buy, what they buy, how long it takes them to buy again, who's reporting. There's a lot of data that, believe me, if you can have, I'll tell you this, if you can have, for example, in the United States, 100,000 people that will really use this, it's a huge asset. And big data is only one. By the way, the other very, very simple thing is that if you have this device where you update, for example, talking about e-commerce, you can have some kind of algorithm where a lot of companies today, Walmart, they have an online shopping, so you can integrate with them, and people can find and live bidding on their basket, who's giving them the best. That's going to come in. It should be automatic, of course. So it's also e-commerce you can put there. Advertising, of course, is something.
Point
What?
of sale. Can integrate with point of sales size supermarkets.
You can't.
We can integrate or
Yes.
connect with the
Yes.
database and the point of sales side of supermarkets. So the users can see real time the data, the items that already exist in
Yeah.
the supermarket, the prices, and can make comparisons
Exactly.
with others.
Exactly. I mean, so e-commerce, advertising, big data.
Can we target the market research agencies to send them data so that
I think those who will be really interested in such data is the manufacturers, is the not the I mean, you will give the data, let's say, to Walmart, and Walmart will take this to these researchers or the researchers that they have. Yeah.
In Gulf countries already the grocery delivery is there, so there is an infrastructure for that. So if you integrate this application with local supermarkets, for example, to deliver for the nearest client, there is also potential.
Of course.
You can make money from that also.
Yeah, you can. I mean, you can. You have your credit card there, and you see that in Carrefour, Riyadh, it's I don't know, 200 riyals, and you say pay, and you can get it within 4 hours, for example. And it's also something. It's like e-commerce.
On the big data side, you can also find related products. Like 90% of people will buy both product A, also willing to support product B. So vendor can make packages.
There's a huge data there, because you know where, you know who, you know what they are buying, and you know when. It's the dream of every supermarket to know this information about their customers. So, advertising, data mining, big data, e-commerce, freemium, free and premium. What else?
subscription? You said subscription.
Subscription to what?
Okay.
So, I mean, again, the idea is, what I wanted just to give you in this activity is to think that sometimes, sometimes there are a lot of